Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us. We continue our conversation. Welcome back. Thank you very much for staying with us on the SABC. We continue our conversation from here at Wits University, the specific areas just around the Great Hall. We continue our conversation just building up to the start of the academic year. But earlier on, we spoke to the Wits University's registrar. We're now joined by the Dean of Students, Jerome September, just to talk to us about the student experience, from the support they offer academically all the way to feeding schemes, knowing that some children or learners that come to Wits University might not afford the mere basics, be it food, sanitary towels, but also to speak to us about their GBV awareness program. Jerome, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us on the SABC.
Good afternoon, and thank you for having me.
And it's a pleasure to have you with us. Now, we decided that you would be confined to all things students. Yeah. It's a vibrant atmosphere today. And when I asked a bit earlier on what exactly is happening now, because the academic year hasn't started in earnest, and I was told that it's orientation week. Yeah. Most of us would have decided that we were too big for our boots after matric and decided to skip orientation because we wanted to spend more time at home. But today, as I was looking at these students coming out of the Great Hall, they were pairing themselves, walking together, and one thought that actually this program is important for at least psychological upliftment or support, that you're not just going to come and be overwhelmed on the first day of lectures, not even knowing where to go. Just talk to us about your program.
Yeah, so orientation, of course, have developed in leaps and bounds since my day, at least at university. So we have a 2-week orientation program. It's called the Gateway to Success, which combines the academic components, my courses, meeting my lecturers, the academic expectations, how to deal with academic integrity, access to the libraries, all of those sorts of things in the academic program, the academic support available. That is combined with a student life orientation. And student life orientation is about coping at the university, the various support that's available, but also importantly, letting students connect with each other. And so how do we build community? How are they enabled to make friends? And how are they enabled just to find their space around campus? So last week would have been the first week of that, first years only, across all faculties, combining those, and of course in the evenings also the various residence programs. This week is the more kind of student fun component of that. So we have out at the moment, as you would have seen, the marquee tent, where there's about 100 clubs and societies that students can sign up for. On the lawns, of course, behind us is all the sports clubs, about 30 of those that's available. All of this to show the student, well, to build community so that they are able to build their networks. Often that club or society becomes the lifeline. But all of this is linked through what we call our student success framework. And the framework talks about the holistic development. So it's the academic, it's the emotional, it's the material, it's the personal development, it's mental health and wellness, all of those brought together. And the idea is in these first 2 weeks to help the first year settle, give them a sense of the academic expectation, where they need to be, how to prepare for those, so that next week when classes start, indeed they are ready for day one.
And most certainly for them to be able to conquer the edge, the Wits edge, as we've heard. But you know, when you speak of the need to build some sort of community, it is honestly important, especially because for the first years, it would be perhaps the first time they're away from home. Some of them come from different provinces, far flung at that. So most certainly it would be a priority. But beyond that, I learned that you have a feeding scheme and also a sanitary program. Just talk us through your feeding scheme.
Yeah, so what we have is a range of support programs. Now, the feeding scheme is actually something that was started by students a number of years ago. 2 components to that. There's a daily meal program, so a student can sign up and every day get a hot meal that's provided to them, or they can sign up for a monthly grocery pack. And so they'll say, I want to cook for myself, can I get a monthly grocery pack? We have a number of food gardens across campus where student volunteers sit and work the food garden to make sure that there's serving other students. And so it's that community, sense of community, sense of appreciating that perhaps I'm in a more privileged position, and so I will serve my fellow student. Then, of course, we also have a sanitary product program, and that is sponsored program, but where we are able to assist female students who need access to sanitary products with access to those. These are sponsored, and it's often residences, for example, that will come and that will say, we did a collection this week and we're dropping it off. And that's how we serve one another.
Honestly, a very wonderful initiative. And then to the preferred programs. I'm sure ever so often you see the trends and see that this time around, this particular program, be it medicine or law, is one that is somewhat popular. What are the trends indicating now?
Yeah, so I guess the top three, it would be law, it is still education, and it's medicine. I mean, those are the big ones. Accounting, science is still up there, engineering is still up there, but the top three would be medicine, law, and of course, education.
And then lastly, I've been seeing a number of students here wearing T-shirts written Wits GBV support. Just talk us through your GBV awareness program.
Yeah, so we have a gender equity office which does a coordinated, centralized kind of programming. There's a policy development around that, generally a zero tolerance approach. But what we also do, particularly at this time of the year, it's acknowledging that we come from different backgrounds, from different cultural traditions, different ways of connecting with one another. And so part of this program, or part of this time of the year, would be the basic awareness. Wits is against gender-based harm, and as part of the orientation programs, we will talk about consent. What does consent look like? When is a yes, and when is no, because it is often that simple. She said no. And so part of the orientation would then be to also help students, to give them the tools with how to navigate a new environment, how to function in perhaps sometimes difficult situations, what the support. And so you would see across the board, all residences will wear the Wits Against GBV T-shirts. Our gender equity office would have had sessions with them. We even have a play that's in the Wits Theatre where some of these key issues are then raised with them so that they are empowered to make the right decisions. But also if there is a victim, and God forbid that happens, but should that happen, that she has access to support on campus.
A very important program that you have there, Jerome. Thank you very much for your time. That was Wits University's Dean of Student, Jerome September, in conversation with us, just talking to us about the student experience here at Wits University. Mpo, I'm in the scorching heat. I'm sure you can see me sweating, but absolutely loving it here. It's back to you in the studio.
Very well. Thank you very much, Mfundo Mabalane. They're giving you a sense of the culture at Wits University, and of course the very important issue of learner placement and the imbalances when it comes to those allocations. Stay